Welcome back to the Conscious Club podcast. Garett's back today, which is really fun because I guess this is happening. I guess that
we made it.
We are going to be doing this more regularly now, which is fun. I'm especially excited because when I make videos by myself, I'm in a very like there's very specific things that I like to speak about and spend my time and energy discussing. And then when I'm with Garett and when I have a conversation with Garett, he kind of is able to pull me into other directions. Does that make sense? Sorry, Luna's just being like crazy, so I'm just gonna grab her for a sec. Come on.
She's gonna be a podcast dog now.
Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna hold her now because she's... So we took her out before we started recording this, so she shouldn't be...
So energetic, but she is.
She's just crazy. Okay. But, do you have anything to say? No. All right. She'll chill out. So, what was I saying?
That I take you in different directions?
Yeah, you take me in different directions that I wouldn't necessarily go down myself, which is cool because then you get to see my perspectives about things that I don't usually choose to talk about on my own. Mm-hmm. Yes, but what do you want today's podcast to be about?
There was something you want to talk about, wasn't there?
Yeah, but it's like I wanted to kind of flow in. I don't have anything specific. I don't have a specific way to introduce it. So
let's just talk about how sick the idea of podcasting is.
Okay, go ahead.
So one of the problems that you had for a while, and one of your goals was to post every day, right?
Oh, yes.
And doing a podcast is really good for generating content because you can film once for like an hour and a half or more, and then you can go back and clip that into a bunch of different topics. Mm-hmm. So it makes it doable. Because before... our conception of making a video every day was actually filming a video and editing it and posting it all in the same day.
Yes.
But with podcasting, you can kind of just talk.
Yeah. And
then clip it out, and then you have, instead of having to work 7 days a week, you can kind of work 3 days a week for getting a full week's worth of content.
Yeah. And that's something like what Garett said. I've been wanting to be someone who can post one video. Well, I've been trying to go one video a week because in the past, even one video a week was really difficult for me. But moving into the new year, my real goal has been to create one video a day. And Garett, after our last episode, he actually edited out clips, which made it very possible for me to be posting every day. And it's just it feels like I hacked something, you know? It's sometimes the way that, so when I, what Garett was saying, our conception of it was the way that I thought that the path would look for me to film one video a day would be very time consuming and putting out a lot of energy. But then the real path, once I kind of let go of the expectations or the way that I thought it was going to work out, it worked out. It's I got what I wanted, which was one video a day, and I got it in a way that was even easier than I had previously thought that it could possibly be. Mm-hmm. So that's cool. Anything else to say about podcasting? I know what our next thing can talk about.
No, but I think now that we've tried it and we see how powerful it is, it gives us the motivation to keep doing it. Because we had set up, or we started talking about starting this podcast in the summer of 2020. Mm-hmm. But we didn't really start doing it because it felt like it would be a lot of effort. But in reality, it's really not that hard to do.
Yeah, but also where I was when we first started talking about this idea, I wasn't ready to take on this as another project because I was getting the coaching business started. There was too many things that I was focused on. I didn't have space for this. And a lot of the times it's the project ideas that we think of they only can be manifested into reality when you have the space to dedicate your energy to it.
Yeah.
Like one of the biggest lessons that I've learned in my life is that it's really hard to be productive and achieve your goals if you're spread too thin. Like if you're trying to work on like 5 different things at a time.
Yeah.
Or I mean like stabilize 5 different things at a time, I should say. Because like right now it's like I've got my own YouTube videos, then I've got my coaching business, and I've got this podcast, and I'm also like creating a course now, and that's 4 different things. But realistically in day-to-day life, I'm only at this moment in time, I'm only focusing on the podcast and creating my course. Because I know that the
But
YouTube videos are stabilized. Like it's like I know how to, it just happens at this point. Like I don't have to try to make a YouTube video. I'll just like be going about my day, and then I'll have an idea for it, and it'll just flow through. Like I don't have to put any effort into creating it.
Yeah. And you're also kind of just working on one thing a day too, right?
Yeah. I mean,
it keeps it, I mean, you do like your Instagram stuff and the stuff that's not, you do that every day because it's not that hard for you to
because
do.
it's stabilized. Like it's just, it's already, I don't feel any pressure or stress from that. It flows very easily to me.
But also it's just easier to start or like to do something on Instagram because there's like not much you need. You need like an image.
Yeah,
or
but
you
it's
can
still
do like
hard
a
if you're
quick
not used to doing it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people who find it really hard. There's whole products marketed to people who find it hard to create Instagram stories. Like people buy products that like will give them story templates because they are not, like it's like you almost have to set up your mind to start filtering out all the information you receive day to day. So okay, a way to explain it is like, it's like when I'm posting stories, the reason it's so easy for me is because my mind has been trained. As I go about my day, I know my mind automatically knows what to look for that would make a good Instagram story, if that makes sense. It's like okay, if you're making a food plate and it looks really nice, then I can like make an Instagram story because that contributes to my goal of wanting to share more plant-based recipes with people.
I guess the difference is that like when people find it hard to do Instagram, it's more that they're putting in the intention that they want to start doing it, whereas you're just living your life, and then at any point in the day you recognize that something's worth posting and then you just record it. So it's not something that's always like running consciously in your head. Like I need to post an Instagram now.
Yeah, but
it's
it
more
is
something
still
that passively.
It's still an intention that I hold with me.
Yes.
It's like
but
it
passively runs rather than actively runs.
But I'm saying it takes some time for it to passively run. Like the reason it's so passive right now is because I've been posting Instagram stories for like 3 years now.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Yeah.
And that's why it's passive but at the beginning when I wanted to do it, it was hard to force myself because I was trying to like fit myself into what I thought I had. That's another thing. The difference between like when you want to do something like create YouTube videos or create any type of content for any specific platform. Like right now I'm having this experience with TikTok and Reels because I haven't had so much time on my own to explore the apps. I find it hard to make that short form content because I'm trying to fit myself into what I've already seen people do. So it's like because I haven't spent so much time on my own with that, it's hard it feels like more pressure.
It's not integrated into your life.
Yeah, like it's like I'm so used to making long form content, and even stories are just like stories are short form, but they're also like just like snippets, like they're photos. And then Reels and TikToks are like a completely new type of content. It's like short form video. And so it's right now I'm in the process of trying to figure out how to effortlessly like create short form video. But for that I need some time to figure out like how it'll actually fit into my life. And I also have to make sure that I'm not just trying to fit myself into someone else's idea of it.
What's the length limit?
On TikTok, I think it's like 15 seconds and 60 seconds.
And on Instagram?
And Instagram Reels is you can have a 15-second video or a 30-second reel.
Yeah, so that's pretty fast.
Yeah, so
I
it's
think
like
you can't get much of a message out in video form.
You can though, but it has to be like...
It has to be very condensed.
Yeah, the first Reel/TikTok that I posted, I wrote a whole note, like on my notes folder, like I wrote like a whole idea of what concept I wanted to share. And then I thought I was being concise, and then I actually went to the video and I literally cut out like so many of the sentences that I had written for it, because realistically in 15 seconds or 30 seconds there's barely any
you have time for like a sentence and a half.
Yeah, and I was also doing, like, in the style that I did it, I was also doing a voiceover. So it's like I also had to make sure that I wasn't speaking too fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's like
rushed. And,
yeah, it's like you have to balance it and kind of like play around with it on your own before it becomes like an effortless, passive thing.
I think you still need. Well, yeah, you can just like record and post, right? But you chose to edit the clips as well.
What do you mean?
Like you can just hold your phone up, record yourself for 15 seconds and post that. Or you can like actually edit a file that's 15 seconds long and post that.
Yeah, but you really think like because I'm so used to long form content, I can't just condense. Like I need to spend time beforehand to figure out how I'm going to like make my message
that's an option
concise.
for people. Like I feel like most of the people using it are probably just posting it as if it was a story on like no?
At least not the people that like a lot of people post videos and then post like text and stuff on top, record voiceovers. At least in the domain of content that I consume. Yeah. For sure, you can post it like a story, but it's also harder because it's hard to condense a message in 15 seconds on the spot. Because like for me, like sometimes my concepts are so complex in my head. It's like
my vision of that feature is like, I'm doing the dishes now, and that's it.
Yeah, but you're not doing anything.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you're talking about stories.
Yeah. I guess, stories is a different thing.
Yeah, stories and reels are different. Because reels and TikToks are like, it's basically a full video.
What is different between a story and a reel then?
A story is like meant, or at least the way it's used, it's for updates. Throughout your day. It's like, I posted something.
What's the difference in the length of a story?
A reel, a story's 15 seconds too, but it's about how people are used to using them. It's like stories, they go for updates about what the person's doing. Reels are like, here is something that I want to share with you. That doesn't necessarily have to do with me personally.
And I guess you can search for, can you search for stories as well? Or no? They don't show up, only to your followers.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the main difference then.
Yeah, stories are more personal. Yeah, stories are more personal too. Like you can't really share someone else's story. Yeah. It's not. I mean, it's not integrated. It's not an integrated feature to share someone else's story, but you can share someone else's reel really easily. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. The only way you can share stories is like screenshotting and posting it as your story and tagging them, right? That's kind of like the traditional way to. Yes. Share a story?
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, it's just made, they're both 15-second videos, but they're made for different purposes. Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting because like at one point when we started using social media, everything was so simple. And now there's like so much complexity building. And that I feel like makes it even harder for people to start on social media because they're like, I don't even know where to start. Mm-hmm. It's like I make it before when you started an Instagram account, all you had to consider or take account.
Take into account?
Yeah, take into account was just regular photos that go on your profile, like your Instagram feed / your wall kind of thing.
And now there's like 6 different
avenues
of posting stuff.
Yeah, there's Instagram. You can post on your feed, which is a different type of post. Then you can like post on your stories. You can post reels. Like you can do Instagram lives. Instagram live is something I haven't done yet. Yeah. Instagram lives are like a really interesting way to connect with your followers. Yeah. as well, because it's like real time, but you also get to save. Oh, I forgot IGTV. That's another avenue.
Yeah.
She's so cute. Are you gonna be nice now?
She says, no, I'm not going to be nice now.
She's nice. She just likes to play a lot. But, yeah, but okay, here's a question. I'm bored of the social media talk.
Yeah.
So, when you woke up this morning, what was the first thought? Like, what are the themes of your day today? Like, what are the thoughts that are playing in your mind today? Like, what are you thinking about most? Because I find that every day for me, there'll be like a new theme of the day, like a new, and in spirituality and new age world, like people kind of refer to it as like the energies of the day.
There's a new theme of the day when you wake up. Like you wake up and you think of like a theme of your day.
No, I don't think of a theme, but I just observe it. I observe like every day different moods move through, different feelings move through, different thoughts move through.
Uh-huh.
Like, I'll give you an example. The reason I was thinking about this today is because yesterday I had such a, like, this is the best day ever. I'm a bad bitch. Like, everything. Like, I was very in my power. And then, like, because, like, that was just the feeling of the day. Like, and because that was for some reason, the main feeling of the day, all the thoughts were filtered. I wasn't having many thoughts that were hard to deal with, because all my thoughts were just related to like how grateful I am and how good I'm doing, and all. It was just really, really a positive day. Mm-hmm. And then today I woke up and I was like, oh, I don't feel like yesterday. Today a lot of a theme that came up a lot was again, like this is like something that I've been dealing with for months now. This is also the concept of loops, like when your mind. Okay, let me explain the example first and then further explain loops, because I feel like I'm jumping. But this morning I woke up and I was just like, felt really heavy, and I was like, oh, I wonder where that's coming from, because
heavy
now,
in what way?
Like my chest is tight, like even now. Like yesterday.
Like stressed.
Yeah, stressed. But it's like here in my chest, and I even feel it now, but yesterday I didn't feel it. Yesterday felt very open and like light and like expansive. Mm-hmm. But today, like I felt stressed, and sometimes you don't know exactly what that's coming from or where that's coming from. Like I woke in the morning, when you wake up, I just felt the feeling like I didn't have associated thoughts yet.
Yeah.
And so that's why I like part of my morning routine now, it's like a non-negotiable morning routine activity is like journaling. Because journaling helps me figure out, like get down to the bottom of that feeling. And what came up today, like the reason I've been feeling that is because I have to pay my credit card bill soon. Like not soon, like I have to pay it, like the due date's like next month, but the statement came out like a day ago, you know? And so, or 2 days ago or something. And so yesterday, my mind wasn't thinking about it, but all of a sudden I woke up today and it's like worried about it.
You should just put your credit card on auto pay, and then you don't have to worry about it.
I know, but sometimes when you don't have enough money in your regular bank account, you can't put it on auto pay.
Yeah.
So, because my relationship with money is in an interesting place, because I trust that everything that I'm doing right now is leading me to like expansive wealth. Mm-hmm. Like I've said it in the last video, like this is going to be $1 million year for me. This is going to be a $10,000 month, because I see very clearly how to even get there, like because of the coaching thing. Like now I'm working on a course, and that's going to be a passive income source, because even if I make it affordable for one person, it's like scalable.
Yeah. And
so I see like all these ways that I can create these like huge amounts of wealth really easily, but I'm not there yet because I haven't created those things yet. So it's like I'm in this place where I'm investing money into things that expand me. So for example, like a small version is like I bought like rings. They're cheap as fuck. Like they were like $11 each, but there was another ring that I bought that was like $50, and I bought it because I know that I'm excited about thinking about wearing it in my course videos. And so it like makes me more motivated to make my course. So it's like I'm making all these purchases that I know are going to help me feel more inspired to do those things that I need to do. Okay, sorry, our camera cut out. So what I was saying was that I signed up to a coaching program with my coach Adriana in February. And it's scary because I made that investment knowing that once I do these things, I will be able to pay it off fully. But right now, I didn't have the money to pay in full. Does it make sense? So it's like I keep putting myself in these places of... do you understand what I'm saying? Or are you completely lost?
So, but my question was, what's the difference? Like, what changed from yesterday to today that made you stress today but not yesterday?
Nothing. Just the energy of the day. I don't fucking know.
So you're just saying, like...
I'm just saying
is it
some
because
days...
you're thinking about it, though?
No,
today?
but I woke up, like, some days it's stronger. Like, the fear of, like, what if I don't, like, fulfill my... Like, what if I don't, like, achieve the visions that I wanted? What if I, like, spent this money on... What if I invested this money on coaching, a coaching program, or, like, on the rings or something, and I didn't make the... Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's scary, but some days it's just stronger.
The difference is just the fact that you're thinking about it.
Some days the scarcity mindset, some days the fear voice is louder. And some days it's quieter. Like yesterday was really quiet. I barely talked.
When you saw your statement, was that 2 days ago?
No, I didn't even, I saw my statement today.
Which is why today is...
No, but I woke up worried about it before I even... Like, I looked at the statement because I woke up worried about it.
Oh, I see.
So I'm just saying it's, like, different days. It's, like, the fear and the different voices that exist in my mind, they're stronger. Yeah. Like, yesterday, the voice of, like, yeah, I'm a bad bitch. Like, I got this. Like, this is so obviously happening. Like, look, there's an amazing course. Like, I wasn't scared of not being able to pay off that course because I'm, like... Or that coaching thing, because I'm like, yeah, what the heck, of course.
Did you have, like, a dream or something?
No.
That started it?
Maybe. Not that I can remember.
Yeah.
But this is just something that I always, like, I feel like a lot of people who are watching this, they're probably going to relate to it, too. It's like there's different days feel different.
Yeah.
So right now, but it's interesting because because I have the awareness to observe that, I'm not letting it ruin my day. Like in the past, if that fear was so strong, it's like, oh my God, it makes me feel powerless, right? The complete opposite of being in my power. Like being worried about money makes me feel really unsafe.
Yes.
And when I feel unsafe, I can't do this
stuff, yeah.
Because I'm like so...
Paralyzed.
Yeah, by fear. Mm-hmm. But today, because I woke up and I had the awareness to realize that this fear voice was really strong today, I was like, oh, that's okay. It's just today for some reason, or just temporarily, like the fear voice is really strong. If I just keep continuing on what I was going to do, like I still showed up to this podcast today because I had that awareness. I didn't identify with it. I was like, oh, that's just something that is existing in my mind right now. I don't actually have to identify it and give it power over me by letting it paralyze me, because I still hold the belief that no, I am still going to have enough money to pay everything off when the time to pay it off comes. Yeah. So I was wondering if you have anything like that, if your thoughts work like that.
I definitely wake up and I'm in some days and I'm not in as good a mood as I was the day before. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What was your original question, though?
I was just saying, like, what is the theme? Do you have an awareness of what your theme of the day is today? Or, like, what's something that's running around? What's like strong?
Is the theme just, like, whether I'm sad or not?
Okay, the theme is, like, the wrong word, but my real question is what's, like, right now, that battle between scarcity mindset and abundance mindset is, like, really strong today for me.
Right.
So is there a theme that has, like, is there a loop that plays along a lot in your life, or like a commonly occurring thought pattern? Is that...
No, my recurring thoughts are more about what I'm working on that day. So if I set the intention of working on something tomorrow, then the thought I'll have in the morning is, what are all the things I need to do until I can start that thing?
Mm-hmm.
Or if not that, usually I'm not really thinking about what I have to do to start that thing, because it's the same every day. It's like, take Luna out, shower, and then just like start working.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time I'll be working on a problem, and then I'll go to sleep thinking about the problem, and I'll wake up thinking about the problem. Like my first thought actually today, I was thinking about the architecture of a machine learning algorithm for a problem that I'm trying to solve.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a thought last night, right before I went to bed, about what the whole thing will look like. And I was like, okay, I got to remember to remember that in the morning so that I can implement it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first thought I had, or one of the first thoughts I had, was remembering that thing that I set the intention to remember from the previous day. So it's not so much about I feel like my mind goes very much towards the specifics of things, mm-hmm. rather than the general
themes.
Am I feeling sad today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But compared to yesterday, if I would rate my mind space, it was out of 10. It's the best that I've probably ever experienced. I felt so good yesterday. So yesterday was a 10 for me, but today I would say it's a 6.
Yeah.
Out of 10, just based on how good I feel and how easy the day's moving.
You're about to spill that.
So what do you even have an awareness to?
I feel like
the
my
difference between yesterday and today?
I don't think my moods fluctuate a lot day to day, but I feel like they might fluctuate a lot over longer time periods.
And what causes?
I could get into it if I'm not doing something that I want to do, but I'm still doing it anyways, then my mood will degrade over a longer time period, and then it'll slowly start to come back. But I think for you, it's more day over day. You could have a really good day one day and a really bad day the next day.
Yeah, and I could
not
also
so much
have,
like that.
I could also have a really good day to begin, and then it
sucks by the end. Yeah.
Yeah, or I could the opposite. I could wake up feeling really bad, and then all of a sudden I could do things that make me feel happier, and then it's I can fluctuate very easily because I have noticed that I'm very influenced by external things. I feel like what's bringing my mood down today is the money stuff.
Yeah. Right?
Because internally I'm good. I'm excited to make this podcast. I wake up excited because I'm happy about where I am. And then something in my external field gives me some sort of information, and by processing that information I'm
I feel like the money thing though is applicable to pretty much everyone. If you thought you were going to run out of money, you would probably be stressed out because money is so related to survival.
Yes, but that's what I'm working, I'm breaking free of it.
Yeah.
It's I didn't let that today affect me. In the past, I would, when I wasn't so aware of that this is a cycle for me, that I get worried about money and then it paralyzes me, and then it actually prevents me from doing the things that will bring me more money.
Yeah.
It's because I'm aware of that, I'm now notice that I had that fear going on today, and then I still was oh, I see what you want me to do. You want me to not film this podcast, huh? Because once I don't film this podcast, then I feel even more powerless.
Yeah.
So it's that. Yes, it is something that a lot of people deal with and are stressed about. But I think what I'm the reason I feel sharing it so much in this podcast it is because you can break out of it. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to show you, I'm literally, it's so interesting. I'm excited to get to the end of February because I know after this course comes out and this my money situation is gonna be amazing, and then I'm gonna talk about the specifics of what I experienced in December and this month.
Yeah.
And what actually led up to that explosion of money.
Yeah.
It's like, because I feel like for a lot of things right before you level up, you're like, holy shit, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
And then you just, if you keep going, if you just keep holding your vision and you don't let that feeling of like, fuck, I'm fucked, let you slow you down, that's when you break through. So I'm like in that process right now, and I'm just like excited because it's the first time that I woke up like money stressed, and then didn't let me. I'm like still worried, but as I speak about it, I'm like, I hope that I can pay all of Adriana's installments, like, you know what I mean, like, because I don't have all of the thing yet.
Yeah.
But then the other version of other voice in my mind, the abundance mindset voice is like, no, you got this. Like, you know how it's gonna come out too. Like, you know the steps. You just need to keep moving forward. Like, keep moving one foot forward of the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I just feel really like, I feel like I just cracked it. I feel like I cracked this money thing that I've been struggling with, like, ever since I started making content.
Yeah.
That's literally been the main thing that has prevented me from filming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like this feeling of like, it's like when I don't see the numbers in my bank account, I'm like, wow, I suck. Like, nothing I'm doing is working. Yeah, nothing I'm doing is working. Like, I just feel like hopeless, and then I really don't want to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, curious to know, what's your money, like, general attitude towards, like, how does money make you feel on a daily basis? Do you also have periods, like, I have very, like, fluctuating money moods. You don't have to go into specifics.
Yeah, I know that I can. So here's the thing, like, because of how I'm basically lucky to have gone into the field that we're both lucky to have gone into the field we went into. We both know that if we needed to, we could just get a job. I
don't know that. Because I actually, like, die. I could not envision.
If you needed to, maybe you can't envision it right now, but if you needed to, you have the skills to get a job. You could get a job.
But I feel like because I am so not passionate about it that I wouldn't, like, I feel like to get a job
right, but
in corporate...
it's not a realistic thing. It's a hypothetical. It's like, I know that I will never not have money because I know there's ways that I can make it. So I'm not worried in the sense that I think I'll be on the street, living on the street. I'm only worried about money in the sense that if I don't have enough, then I don't have the freedom to do the things that I actually want to do in life.
Interesting.
So whenever I think of, like, my money stress is not that I won't have money, it's that I won't be making money in the way that I want to make money.
I see. For me, like, I can't even, it's just not an option. For me to stop everything that I'm doing now, for me to stop all the content creation and all the coaching thing to divert to, like, something that I don't like doing, it's just, like, at this point, it's not an option. And I'm like, I'd rather, honestly, like, in my mind, it's so black and white. It's like, I would rather just not have money than do that. It's crazy because I'm like, because I know that as soon as if I ever got into a position where I needed to, I would just, like, really live minimalistically and continue to do the stuff that I want to do. Like, I'd hold my freedom over that. Mm-hmm. Like, over just a sense of security. Like, I'm just like, nothing sounds worse to me. Eating, like, not having enough money and, like, having to be very, very mindful about where the money's going sounds like a better option to me than working full time.
Right, but there's still, like, you have to make some money somehow. So, like, for example, when you first started out, you weren't working full time, you were working part time. Mm-hmm. Right? So that is, like, a way to get money. You're still not.
Yes, okay.
It's a compromise. You're not.
I know, but, like, I think
if you legitimately have no money, I can almost guarantee that your choice would not be to go live on the street.
No, I wouldn't live on the street. The other thing is also, like, we always tend to think about, it's like, we have money or we live on the street. When in reality, if you have there's people in my life that will house me.
Yes.
Like, I will always be taken care of.
Yes.
You know, like I feel like a lot of people have the luxury of having their like families, like their parents, to go back to. Like, at least in this country, like in this first world privileged state, like it takes a lot to be homeless, actually.
Yeah.
Like, you need to like be born into a really underprivileged situation, and then also have all these life. But like for me,
usually
I
it's
never
like abuse and stuff.
Yeah, and I could never see myself, because I'm so lucky, and it's like, to realize that is the biggest. Like, it feels so liberating, because I'm like, even if it hurts my ego to rely on someone else for a little bit,
Yeah.
it's still an option.
Yeah, ultimately it'll be better in the long run, because you're going to be putting out higher quality services to people if you're actually enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah. Another thing that I feel like I think about money differently than some people is like, I would rather take out a loan just so I can continue building everything that I want to build in the ways that I want to build it with full freedom. I'd rather take on a loan than work part-time and like divert some of my energy to something that is not in line with like my main vision. But that comes from my sense of like power that I've developed, because I know that I can, like, whatever I'm working on right now, like, I know that there's a lot of potential. But even that, like, some people would find it really scary to be like, because buying a loan, it's like taking out a loan is you're risking. It's like in business, that's a risk.
Yeah.
But you also need to have that if you are genuinely like determined to make your dream of like whatever you're creating a reality. Like, you have, like, to me, it's like worth taking that risk.
The world runs on debt.
Yeah.
It really does.
There's so much shame. Like, people, normal people, like, it's like corporations and big companies and people who have established businesses they can accept taking on debt. But like, people who are just starting out, there's such a big fear of like, it's like shameful, right? It feels shameful to admit that.
A lot of people don't realize it, but like huge corporations that have tons of money, they still take out debt. Like Apple, Google, Amazon, like Facebook, like all these companies, they have debt. They hold debt. They can pay it off, but they use it. It's a tool.
Yes.
People use it. It's a tool. That's what it is.
That's so true.
The problem is when you use the tool wrong.
Yeah, but how would you use the tool wrong? Because I find that I guilt myself a lot for holding that. I keep telling myself, like, no, Reg, like, this is a wrong mindset to hold. Like, that's going to fuck you up. Like, it's better to get a part-time job than take out a loan. But in reality, I know that if it actually came to that, I would still go for the loan. But then I feel guilty and worried about it.
The point is, you need to have an intention for what you're taking or using the debt for. If you're using the debt to buy yourself a nice car, that's not a good way to take out debt. The only reason someone should take out debt is if they think that it's going to benefit their productivity, their future productivity.
Yeah, unless the car is like directly linked to your whatever you're creating.
Yeah,
like if you're a car YouTuber,
exactly,
that's a business investment.
Yeah, exactly. But it has to be something that you can see a path to getting a return on that investment.
Yes.
If you're just taking it out to buy a Louis Vuitton bag and you're not an Instagrammer that is going to benefit from showing that product off, then you're literally
draining.
First of all, you're paying for something, and then you're paying extra for that thing because now you have to pay interest on it.
Yeah. That's so true. That's so true. It's an intention.
Yeah. If your rate of return from using debt will be higher in the long run than if you didn't use that debt, even though there's an interest that you have to pay off, then it's worth taking on the debt.
Yeah. It's all goes back to like, if you have a clear vision, then you can literally just it's just so liberating to think about it like that. Because when I was talking about rings, like, rings don't sound like a normal, like a conventional business investment, but for me, it's like I know that the power of the rings, just like how they make me feel, it adds so much value to the type of content, to how I show up on camera and what my energy is like on the videos of the courses that I'm creating. You know what I mean? So it's like the rings, to some people, they might buy a ring just because they're like bored. And it's like, I want to feel better, so I'll buy a ring. But for me, it's like I see exactly where it fits in to my vision.
Yeah.
It's like it's a very intentional piece that I've incorporated. I think that's a complete change about how I think about money too. I do that a lot now. That's why my money situation is so like bouncy. Because I'm like, I can see where this is gonna fit in. I'd rather just buy it because eventually I'm gonna buy it anyway. Mm-hmm. Like when I bought clothes, like I bought like a bunch of new clothing pieces because I was like, I'm embodying a new version of myself. If when I buy new clothes, it makes me feel like I'm completely stepping into this version. Yeah. And then
you can act it.
Yeah, and then you act it so much, you just automatically, effortlessly you act it because you're like, there's material like things that let you feel that way without even having to try. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that I talked about this because it's like, wow, it's actually a really good way to think about it. And I'm also happy that I've asked, like, that you're telling me what your perceptions of it are, because I feel like I've been like worried about it. I've been like, oh my god, I hope Garett doesn't think I'm an idiot for buying rings. That's not what I mean, but you know what I mean. Like, but you don't. No. So that's good. One of my favorite things about Garett and our relationship is that anytime I'm ever worried about something, all I have to do, like if I'm worried about Garett, like think something, like he doesn't like something that I did, or if I'm worried about how he's perceiving me or what I'm doing, all I have to do is talk to him about it, and then he's always like so understanding and non-judgmental and knows exactly like where I'm, like exactly, no, but you know exactly like what, I never have to worry about it. I never have to worry about you misunderstanding my intentions. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
because I know you're not trying to do anything bad. You're just trying your best.
Yeah.
Most people are.
I know, but I still I feel worried.
Actually, I'd say everyone is trying their best. Yes. In whatever situation they're in.
That's true. It's like you do your best with what you know. Yeah. And then when you know more, you do better. Yeah. But until you know more, just like do your best, like as much as you can do. Yeah, wow. Anyway, thank you. That's so like, Garett, I hope that one of the things that you learn from this podcast, if you continue to watch it, is what a really like perfect relationship looks like. At least for us, like for me, you're understanding. I never am worried about you. I never have to censor myself in front of you.
Gee, thanks.
No, but I'm saying like, I feel like, remember how when we first got together, we would talk about this a lot, that people had so many like walls, yeah, like what
it's like rules about relationships. What does it have to look like? How long after the first it cut off again, we have to get a new camera. This camera has a limit of like how
20 minutes, and then it stops recording.
Yeah,
so we have to keep checking. So anyway, I don't know exactly where we ended off, but what we were saying, or where it cut off, but I was saying like, when we first got together, we would have this conversation a lot about what a lot of people in our age group at the time, like there were so many rules that they put on what a relationship is supposed to be like and how they are supposed to act in the relationship. Like what, and Garett was saying like, it's just all these rules.
Yeah, like some of the rules, how long after you go on a first date with someone can you go on a second date with someone? How many dates do you have to go on before you can consider yourself in a relationship?
How many dates before you can have sex with the other person? Yeah. When should you have the first kiss? When should you like
all these random things, like how should you act? Should your partner always buy you meals? Should your partner always like do your dishes or like do your laundry, just like all these stupid things. You should just both be doing equal amounts.
Yeah, but also it's like all these things build up and take up space that prevent you from actually what's most important in a relationship, which is developing like a really stable connection. Like the connection that I feel with Garett is I am never, like I was saying, I'm never worried. Ever. Like I'm so secure in this relationship. Like there's just so much trust. You know, and it's like, I know that if I'm ever feeling weird about something or icky, I always have the option to just communicate it with him. And I know that even if he doesn't agree with what I'm saying, he is mature enough to have a conversation and like try to understand. Like, you know what I mean? It's like we're both empathetic.
It's
and
like
that
people play by two different rule books sometimes.
Yeah, it's
and they don't tell each other what their rule books
because
say.
they're scared to communicate.
Yeah.
Or there's like some sort of
Or it's just
block.
assumed that each party knows what the rule book says, and in reality they don't. So when they don't talk about it, there's like these clashes that come up.
Yes.
So yeah, it's really.
But there's no rule book.
There's no rules to a relationship. That's not a thing. There's no like 10 steps to a good relationship. Maybe there's one step, and that's just like talk to the person.
Yeah.
And if you don't like them, you don't have to hang out with them.
Yep.
As simple as that.
Yeah. And it's like all the rules about like when you should do what. It's like feel into it.
Yeah.
Like when does it feel right to tell the person, like is it like a month in and you've been hanging out like all the time and you just like love spending time with the person and you feel that reciprocated, then yes, it's fine to say I love you after a month.
Yeah.
Like if both of you are feeling it and it's about the vibe too, right?
Or
it's
after
like
a day,
energetic.
if you really are having a good time or whatever. It doesn't really matter what you say. It matters what you do.
But it's like people are afraid to put themselves out there and be vulnerable. That's what it's really about, right? Like to say I love you people don't want to say it too early because they don't want to experience the potential rejection.
Yeah.
But
I also
you can
shouldn't
feel
say
it
it
out.
doesn't matter what you say. It just matters. Like people are always so defensive, and you just have to put stuff in the open and see what happens.
Yes.
And be willing to listen.
Yes. And I was saying this is where like energetics, like people, I feel like for a long time I was like, oh, no one's gonna understand what I'm talking about when I talk about like energy or vibes. But like even if you're super not in tune with spirituality or the energetic realms, you still know that, like, for example, in a relationship, you can feel when the other person is open to you, you know, in a way, like, it's like you can feel, like, when I said I love you to you for the first time, I think it was 2 months in, like, consciously, because the first time, apparently, you want to tell it?
I think you've already told it in a video, but yeah. The first time she said she loved me, it was in her sleep, so that was pretty funny. It was like a weekend or something.
Yeah, but he didn't tell me until I actually said I love you to him like a month later. But I'm just saying, like, when I actually was
Although
like,
it also could have been not, you might not have been saying it to me. I think you just said the words, but then I don't know who you were talking to.
I'm pretty sure I was in love with you like 2 weeks in.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just saying, like, when I actually consciously said I love you to you, I felt safe. Like, I felt there was a sense of, there was a feeling of comfort.
Yeah.
That I knew that it was going to be very unlikely that I would be rejected. Mm-hmm. You know, and so it's like those are the moments where you feel into it and just figure out, like, what does it feel like?
And if you do get rejected, then it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I wouldn't even say that something is meant to be necessarily, but it's not a huge deal. Like, the human life is so long, you can do so many things and, like, find joy in so many different things. And, like, there's not, I don't believe anyways that there's one, like, soul person that's meant for you. There's tons of people that are compatible with you.
Yeah. Yeah. But some people just, like, fit every box so perfectly. You're like,
yeah.
Is this?
But then there's, like, so many people that there would be tons of people that would fit that box.
Everyone can, but I'm saying, like, there's a difference between, there's quality of relationship.
Yeah.
Like, there's some people...
Certain types of people you won't be compatible with. And that's true. But there's also certain types of people that you will be, and there's lots of those people.
Yes. And it's all just you being open. But anyway, I think getting into this whole thing, it's like, long story short, like, you don't need to plan your relationship.
Yes.
You don't need, it's like you feel it out on a moment to moment basis.
Yes.
And that's what you go with. That again, that goes back to my main teachings of that's intuition. The difference between like living intuitively and planning everything out and trying to stick to that structure, that's a difference.
Yeah.
Because when you live intuitively, you're feeling into the field in every moment. And that makes it so that you have the newest information in every moment as you're making decisions. As opposed to planning something, and then when you get there, it's like, might not feel right because things aren't aligned. Anyway, I'm just talking in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we done?
I don't know. Is there anything else we want to talk about today?
We're almost at an hour. I don't know. Is there anything else? I think the main thing I did want to talk about was money, which I did. And vision setting, which was... I kind of talked about it, but I talked about it in the way that it was most alive for me right now, which was in the concept of money. Because all my visions are about financial stability and prosperity. Mm-hmm. So that's good. Okay, what's your favorite thing about me? So we're talking about relationships. Okay, we can just take some of the pressure off and say what is one of your favorite things about me, not the most favorite.
Yeah, I wasn't pressured by that. Okay, there's lots of things that are good about you. I like that you're very motivated to make your social media stuff work.
It's more than social media. That's why.
Yeah.
I'm like the social media is a tool.
Yeah, it's a tool. It's a means to
It's
the
a
end,
mission. I'm on a mission. There is very...
Yeah, you're trying to liberate people from
shitty
expectations
mindsets
set on them from other people and from themselves, and
but that's what drives
people
me.
Free. Yeah.
It's like my why, my reason for doing everything that I'm doing is because it's not just about I want a bunch of followers.
Yeah, no, it's not about making money. It's about actually providing value to people.
Yeah.
Helping people make their lives better. I feel like we hold similar.
Yes. But money is a byproduct, which is I'm really excited about, because it's like once you are living in your mission, the money just comes because you're so passionate and like putting so much energy and like effort and love into your mission, that the money is just, it's impossible for the money to not flow.
The only way that you can make money is if you're providing a service to people.
A value, yeah.
Value to people. If you're not providing value to anyone, you're not making money.
Or you could be making money, but it might be temporary. Like, I feel like...
And you might be also providing value to people, but you also might be underselling yourself. You might be providing value to people, but you might not be asking for anything in return.
Yes.
Which is a problem in itself. Can be a problem in itself. If you're like well off and you want to provide free value to people, then that's fine. But you also have to satisfy your needs as well.
Yeah. There was a podcast I was listening to with, you know that coach that I was talking about, Melanie Ann Lair, the girl from Montreal?
Yeah. Who's
O'Shea's coach? She was saying like every decision that she makes filters through this saying that she said. It's like, is it good for me, for you, for us? It's like, if it's good for you but not good for me, then I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
If it's good for me and not good for you, then I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So it's like that. It's so important to have that mutual
the only way for it to
energy
grow
exchange.
is,
It's
for having both parties be benefiting from it.
That's the only sustainable way, because again, you could do it temporarily.
Yeah, you could try and scam a bunch of people, but then you're going to get caught and then shut down at some point.
Yeah.
You could try and steal, you're going to get caught and shut down.
Yeah. You can sell yourself short and keep giving people, like for me, I could keep giving people free or really, really discounted coaching calls, and then to the point where I no longer have the energy because I'm burnt out doing all the free stuff.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't even want to coach anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you want prolonged success at something, financial success, it has to satisfy is it good for you? Is it good for me? Is it good for us?
Not even financial success.
And,
not even just financial success. Every success, it has to be good for everything around you. Otherwise, it's not going to last.
Yeah, so that's like one of the affirmation cards I have. It's like something about the best manifestation is when you bring forth what is of the highest good for all.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want me? I'm gonna say what I like about you, and then
what do you like about
end.
me?
My favorite thing about you is that you're patient. You're patient with me. You're patient with everyone that you engage with, and you're also patient with yourself. And you're like Garett, the type of work that Garett does on a day-to-day basis, it's like prolonged projects, like with the machine learning stuff, because he'll work on it and then he has to wait like days to see if the code he worked on actually was successful or not. You know, like you can literally spend 5 days. Like how long was the other thing running for?
My latest algorithm was training for 5 days.
Yeah, and like while in the 5 days, like he didn't know whether all the work that he had just put in was doing, like whether it was successful or not.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it was trending towards working, but the nature of machine learning is like you're trending towards better, but it could like stop at any moment.
Yeah, it crashed.
So, no, not even just crash. It could stop learning at any moment.
Oh.
Like it could, the capacity of the network might not be enough.
Oh,
and
shit.
it'll just flatten out. And like, so you could spend like 5 days and get to like 80% accuracy, but you need like 90%.
Yeah, but that is so, like, I don't think that I innately have that level of patience to do work like that.
Yeah, but I'm not just like sitting waiting for 5 days too. I'm working on other things while it's going.
No, but it's like, I think it's about like validation. It's like you're still it's not gonna paralyze you if it did crash or it did stop working after 5 days. It's like if I did that, I would be so distraught and I'd be like, oh my God, everything I do is like not working. You know, I wouldn't have the patience / perseverance to keep going with it. So I really like that about you.
Well, you do though, because you're working on like YouTube and stuff, and that's like super delayed gratification.
I don't know.
Like it's starting to kick in.
Like
it's starting to kick in now, but
I think it's because
the same. Like,
because
you're
I
not
know
getting
that
tons of.
No, because every video that I post, I know that it's there. Like
True.
it's
and
always
I guess it is providing
adding
some value.
Yes.
Whereas if it's like a program that doesn't work, it's just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And there's nothing. So actually, there is stuff you get out of it because you learn like what works and what doesn't work. So you are still getting something out of it. You're still learning in doing it, and you won't make the same. Hopefully, you won't make the same mistake twice.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so that's one thing, that you're really patient, and then like I was saying, that makes you patient with anyone and any situation or person. You're patient. But another thing that I just thought of that is an even more amazing Garett characteristic is that you Garretteristic is that you provoke people to think outside of their like already existing thought structures. And I think that's like very underplayed. I don't think you you do embody it, but I don't think you realize how much of a gift you have with that. Like he can like get you out of like shitty thought structures without triggering you. Like he could just be like, hey, have you thought about this? And it comes across in the most like genuine, non-threatening way that it doesn't bring up any defense mechanisms. Like, 'cause, you know, like people are very like we humans, we're so possessive about our beliefs.
Yeah.
But it's like when you see a belief that someone's holding that is not necessarily serving them, I feel like it's like some people might see that and then just like try to attack the belief, and that causes that person to like close up on the belief even more and hold even tighter.
Yeah.
But you have a way of being like just bringing it up,
tiptoeing around it and trying to find
break
ways that,
vulnerabilities in a very tactful way that really doesn't trigger.
Mm-hmm.
It's like because you can tell the genuine, like it's amazing, and it's that in itself is just so helpful to people, because again, all the work that I'm doing with mindset coaching, it's all about fixing limiting beliefs or getting rid of limiting beliefs and installing really limitless beliefs.
Yeah.
You should be a coach.
We're all coaches in some way.
Yes, that's true. I was talking to my friend Violet yesterday. I was saying like anyone can be a coach. You just pick like what you want to coach about. So like it's basically you're a teacher, right? Everyone can be a teacher. You just pick what you want to become a professional at and learn about based on your interests, and then you can just teach other people about it.
Yeah.
And streamline their knowledge in that subject. That's what I see for everyone. I want everyone to just like pick what they like doing, learn about it, and then to just make their money teaching other people how to do that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it would work.
Well, some people have to do the thing itself, but it's usually the people that are being taught that are doing the actual thing, and then the teachers are telling them how to do it. In doing it, they learn, and then they can become the new teachers.
Yeah. But I feel like it would balance out, and there would always be someone doing to fulfill each role, because everyone's at different stages.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like my wish for everyone, to be able to do that for themselves. It's so fulfilling.
Yeah.
Not only to do what you like, learn about what you love learning about,
then passing the knowledge down.
Yeah, and seeing how and the reason why you're learning about it is because you see value in it, and you know that like you're learning about it because it's changing your life in positive ways. And then to take that knowledge and give it to someone else and witness them having life-changing experiences with with what you just taught them, like that is like the most fulfilling experience ever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited that you're going into like a teaching thing with machine learning. I'm gonna love it. And also Garett's really good at explaining things in ways that are understandable. Like when you're good at teaching.
Thank you.
Oh, are you happy that I said that?
Sure, of course.
Okay.
I'm mad that you said that.
No, but I mean that smile was so cute.
Oh, that's good.
Garett's cute too. And I'm cute too.
You're very cute.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, not really. Okay. Is that it?
My mouth hurts, yeah.
Thanks for listening. That was nice. What was that? Episode 3?
Oh, yeah.
Episode 3 of the Conscious Club podcast.
Mm-hmm. I hope you're more conscious now.
Yeah. Welcome to the club. See you next week, I guess.
Yes, for sure. If I was able to film today, I can film any other day. Like I was not
here first.
I was not feeling it this morning, and then I was like, you know what? I choose to keep putting one foot in front of the other. And the fun thing is that when you actually do that, in the process of filming this, I got happy, and now I'm gonna spend the rest of my day being happy because I'm like, I'm so proud of myself. I did it. I didn't fall for that mind trick.
Yeah.
I didn't let fear win.
Don't let fear win.
Never.
Do it. Just do it.
I mean, sometimes you need to rest, so it's not always about just doing it. Just don't let...
Just do it eventually.
No.
But don't let eventually be too far.
It's not even about doing it. It's like, don't let fear dictate what you do.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Because you're still doing things.
Yes.
Even if I'm not doing the podcast, I'm still not... What?
Don't be scared. Just do it. Just do the thing that you're scared of. If you think that you want to do it. If you're fantasizing something, just do it. Unless it's like kind of fucked up, then don't do it. But like most of the time, just do it.
Unless you're tired and you need a break, then take a break. Don't push yourself too hard. You don't need to push yourself too hard. Life can be...
If you need to take a break, just do it. Just take a break.
Oh, okay. Okay. We love you. Thank you for watching.